Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Another Fat Guy Cooks. I'm your fat guy, Andy Baker, and today for crime and nourishment, we have the one and only Andy Andrist. Say hello, Andy.
Hey there. Hey. Yeah, it's
Really
always
good to see you, man.
it confuses people when two Andys are gathered. It's like, well,
Yeah.
should one of us go by the? No, we're both fucking. We both are
I'm not
Andys.
allowed to go by it. Whenever we're at the funhouse, like I'm not allowed. You know, Stanhope's like, fucking calling him Andy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can deal with hack. I mean,
Yeah.
it fits.
Well, we don't. I don't refer to myself as Andy too much. I'm the Andy. I've been in a group of like 4 or 5. When you get more than 2 Andys together, you tend to run into 1 or 2 clunkers. I'll call you AJ. How about
that? Yeah, well, actually, I am actually AJ as well. So.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh fuck!
And in fact,
all Andys are. Every fucking Andy is
Yeah.
Andrew Games. What is up with that?
When the show Simon and Simon was on, I got a members only jacket and tried to change my name to Andy or AJ, and it didn't take. It didn't take.
I tried it when I was at school. When I was at fucking secondary school, I was like trying to just call me AJ. You know, that'd be nice. But,
Yeah.
not one fucking person ever.
Around that time, I was like, I wanted to be called AJ, and then my friend Mitch started calling me Handy Andy, and then it evolved to Hand Job. So not only did I not get AJ, I got Hand Job, and that was kind of my name through. Through high school.
Well, one of my best friends just started calling me Lunchbox when I was fucking because from fucking Jay and Silent Bob. Because obviously, we were out for a meal last night, right, for Father's Day. We're at fucking a restaurant, nice Italian restaurant, sat down to eat. The fucking server comes over and looks at me and says, do I know you? And I'm like, no. He goes, you look like someone famous. I was right, what, Sal from fucking Impractical Jokers? No, that one from Nick Frost. You look... Which fat guy do I look like today? Tell me, please.
Yeah.
And I assumed until recently that everybody gets this. No, apparently not. Just me.
I used to look like the guy on Ally McBeal. That's like I was in. Well, I mean, I heard that 2 or 3 times. I don't even know the actor's name. I didn't.
He's starting to look a little bit more like Ellen these days.
Yeah, that guy or me. Oh yeah. I dance around like her. I'm mean to the people I live with. I definitely got the mean Ellen going.
Right. So the point of all of this is what we do is, well, first off, you are in jail. You're on death row, right? You've obviously done something horrific to end up on death row. What did you do?
Probably a murder.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not into sex crimes, so it'd be like a murder, and I just like got all fucking self-righteous in my head and did a murder because it needed to be done and got caught. And I guess I've exhausted all the appeals. Got a shit ass lawyer who fucked me, all that shit, or maybe a drug, but you wouldn't get put down for drugs, So
I mean, it'd have to be like in the commission of another crime, wouldn't
right?
it?
Maybe I was doing snorting coke off of a dead hooker, but I didn't mean to kill her. Let's go with that. It was, I didn't know the 6 motel had surveillance cameras.
Okay, cool. So obviously, dead hooker. I mean, it's cliche, but then what about us isn't?
Well, I mean, I was treating her like that's the thing. It's like, she was a sex worker and then things went wrong. It's like when somebody dies, how long before you start referring to them as a carcass?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I wasn't saying she's a hooker, and I was, she was an escort. We had a nice dinner, and then she, did a couple bumps and passed out, and I thought she was still alive, and I was doing bumps, and that's when the cops kicked in the door, and it looked like maybe I had something to do with it.
And I wasn't really in a position to give a good argument.
Right. Caught red-nosed. my blood out my nose was all the evidence they needed.
Yeah, she was covered in blood, but it was your blood.
Yeah. They thought she was having her period at first, but it turns out I just had a geyser going. Yeah, so it's
reminds me of fucking Ronnie Putnam at Panamint.
Oh man, yeah, he was the best line cutter I've ever. You know,
he had so much blood in him.
Mm-hmm.
He was just made of blood. He was like a giant tick.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone get a nosebleed from coke and like start bleeding before I went to bed and still be going when I got up the next day.
I'll bet just from like if there were a casual observer at those the early Panama parties, they would have had me and Ronnie Putnam dying first in a 1-2. But Ronnie definitely
right after Dr. Dims.
Yeah, well, who's to say he didn't die out there? That dude. So there was that trial, and I left because like they were starting to get kind of violent. I think and I took off, and I was on a trail by myself going, and I was on that mescaline, so I was fucking blown. My head was blown up, and then that guy. Either that or it was a hallucination of that guy, but he somehow finds me out in the middle of out away from everything, and he goes, if I'm such a douchebag, why don't you kill me? And he kept repeating that, and I was looking for a rock that I could smash his head in with. I just didn't find one, and it's like, get away from me, you fucking demon. And I took off, but my initial thought was, this guy's asking to be killed, and where's a big fucking rock I can lop on his noggin? And I know everybody would have covered. I mean, that would have ruined the party, though.
Oh, yeah, but no, that would have been like the easiest crap. There would not have been one person at that party who wasn't willing to, like,
right.
That's all knife in.
We would have driven his car to Darwin, ditched it, got rid of the body, and then easily. Like 25 years later, there'd be a knock on the door. I know what you did to Dr. Timms. Yeah, so what? He was a fucking total douchebag, and he literally was asking me to kill him.
He literally asked for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, so last meal on death row, right? Mm-hmm. Anything you want whatsoever. I'll basically go figure out how to make it. I'll then come back probably, I don't know, in a week or in a few days, we'll figure it out, another call, and I'll present you with it. But what will your last meal be?
Well, fuck, my original idea was just lots of appetizers, but
Applebee's, man.
Yeah. When I was molested back in the day, I would go to Sizzler and have Malibu chicken. After my date night or whatever. It's like the old man would try to make it right, and I'd go, and I like Malibu chicken. It's a really ridiculous dish. Sizzler, it's a breaded piece of chicken, I think, and then with ham and cheese melted on it. But I'm not sure I'd want to be reminded of being sexually molested with my last meal. So and that one's too fucking easy too.
I mean, you're on death row as well, so likelihood is you probably got sexually molested like last night.
Right, or sexually molested at that. If I was gonna if I'm on death row,
you're dishing it out.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, you better flip over. You better flip the fuck over. So I'm gonna keep thinking on that because I want to come up with something that'll be a bit of a challenge.
Okay.
As like salmon. I like salmon a lot, but lately I've been into making I'd probably do this because it's like the perfect egg sandwich.
The perfect egg sandwich.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been into is making egg. As I go to there's 2 or 3 places in town that have the egg sandwich, and I've taken what I want from each one of those, and I do egg, and I can't do that. The part I fuck up is they do the like it's an over easy type egg.
So like
I
a
guess
hard
is the
boiled
name
egg,
for it.
but
Like
still
a
kind of soft.
no, it's a fried egg.
Fried egg. Okay.
And then I do the toast. I toast the bread, and you can't have doughy fucking bread. And then the ones that do it in the bun, it's just a little too much bread. So and then I get the thin bread.
So
and
like sort of Wonder Bread, like just basic fucking.
No. It's like grain bread and shit.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread. It just fucked. And fucking eat the egg up, and then the fuck. So then a crisp bacon, avocado, and let's see, and then provolone or one of the better cheeses. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. And then my wife keeps track of the number of eggs I eat. Like she's a Jehovah's Witness, so it's like life continues on Earth after they get. I don't know exactly, but she's like, and I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, so it's like, why do you care how many eggs I eat?
Yeah,
we're
getting
it's
divorced
like
when one of us dies. So.
Right when I die, I assume there'll be a short interview and I'll be going to hell.
Yeah.
If there is
really,
that or whatever.
Really short interview.
Yeah, they'll just be like, yeah, we watched your comedy special. Nah, nobody wants you here.
When's the comedy special out, by the way?
It's coming out Friday. Yeah, you can go to naturejack.com, which by the time this airs, it'll be up in place. It's been a source of
because I checked.
Right. It's been a source of like, criticism that I don't know what I'm doing. Holy shit. I got 800-pound gorillas putting out the audio of things, and they're on top of shit. And me, but I think people will be surprised when they see naturejack.com. Look at it now. You'll see it's up and it's professionally done. Some may even say it's a better looking website than Doug Stanhope.
Well, this is what naturejack.com looks like right now. So if you go and check it, then you can see what it looks. I'm going to put it up on the screen. You see?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, wow. There is a holding place for it right now. But it's and and Nature Jack was something I don't know. I think that was maybe the first time as I was I hate to say this part, I was up in the Panamint Mountains with my brother, and we were in a ghost town up there, Panamint City, and it's a 3-mile hike up into the scrub up there, but it's just all these, there's a bunch of buildings, and my brother was across town in this ghost town, and I was in this, what I felt was this had to be a whorehouse. Sometimes you just get a sense, and
I've got radar for it. It's like finding a guy with coke at the party.
Right, like there was no reason why I should be after this hike all of a sudden just getting an erection. It was like, wow. So I felt like the whore ghosts were breathing on my neck.
Like a divining rod is just like pointing towards
right. So I wanked off, and that time I felt like I was in a whorehouse, so it was very easy to just go with it or whatever. But then the challenge it's kind of like cleanse your mind instead of like going to your phone and looking at somebody's asshole or some chick with broken teeth or whatever to get you off. It was just like being out in the woods or out somewhere without anybody around, and just to take care of yourself without any, so it became kind of like a cleansing situation where I wasn't. Do you think
anything sexual meant, or do you just
no?
So it's not. It's
not really
like trying to just get it out without.
Yeah, it's like if you have a knot in your back and you can reach it, and then you just rub it. That's what I started doing, and then I would like. It got to when I was, I'd drive to the beach and I would start getting an erection because I know I'm going to go, hit a trail and get away from people and go find these like in the dunes. I like the dunes a lot. You get away from that stinging grass, and I just lay out in the thing, and then let the sun warm me up and stuff. And then it's just like, I don't even I don't have to bring myself to an erection. I just get an erection just being out and looking at the clouds and hearing the birds chirping, but I don't get turned on by the birds. But that's what it became kind of like, I don't know. It's like there's some
raping Gaia.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of the idea.
Mother Nature molestation.
Right. It's like everything to do with that. Masturbation is like, on some level, toxic. You're looking at porn and them chicks, got underpaid for the shoot, or whatever, and then it's like so you rely on some other thing. And I thought about how like the Native Americans, they would send like the teenage boys, they would send them out on walkabout, and it wasn't, it was so they wouldn't impregnate somebody, being toxic warriors. Is go out and then get into the spiritual world, and that's what so I started the movement. And now I realize I didn't want to share it with people, because the last thing you want to do when you're making love to a waterfall is to see some fucking dude wanking off. Like, hey man, this is my thing. But I realized that, sharing the message is like, I want people to, get in tune with yourself, and you don't need to fucking finger somebody else. It's like, go fucking do it yourself, man. And I become less needy. I make better decisions. For the most part.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I still had some. I've had some egregious,
worse decisions.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And the one thing about nature jacking is I don't have some yappy broad in the car on the way back going, I want to stop and get saltwater taffy.
Not get tickets to your next show.
Yeah. You know what you could use for a punchline? Yeah.
Oh my God, that's always so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like, I look forward to road trips when I can go out by myself, smoke a bowl and sit there in the dunes and make sweet love with myself. And at the pace I go, like, it's like edging. It's like, I'll get there eventually. I'm not that worried about it. But it's like usually a guy jerks off. It's like when they fire the gun on the 100-meter dash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got to qualify.
To get in and get out as quickly as possible.
Right. So it's a whole different rhythm to it. I mean, I found myself in a protected area, and that was one time I was in the plover egg area or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna kind of hurry this up because there might be some police or something involved here, but for the most part it's a very leisure activity.
I fucking want to hear you explain it to a cop so much.
Yeah, well, you know how you have to. Yeah, I mean, cops are as toxic of people as you can run across, so they would definitely benefit from it. This just think of this as an unarmed black man running from you. Oh, I'm already. Oh no, that's toxic, officer. That's toxic behavior.
Fuck's sake. Right, okay, so for the food then, we're gonna do fancy ass egg sandwich.
An egg sandwich and just the right amount of potatoes on the side.
And that's it. Fried potatoes, little crunchy ones. Okay.
Yeah, like cool. A lot of times, as because you watch your figure, is sometimes they load you up with potatoes. I'm not opposed to having a light meal, but it's like, what the fuck, man? You dumped 700 calories of potatoes there, and now I got to eat tartar sauce and ranch dressing on them. I don't know if it's an OCD thing, but I organize my French fries and grate them and get rid of some of them. It's like,
really?
Yeah, it's like, because they put them all down and they're all it's like pickup sticks, and I want them so I can pick them up, and so I organize them. They're all facing the right way, and then I go A's, of course, are your longer ones that aren't burned on the ends or anything. Those are A's, and then it goes on down, and then it's like fuck average and the D's, and then those fucking F's. It's like fuck these, and you get them out of the mix there, and then I just eat the A's and B's, and then sometimes I slum it into the C's a little bit. But I eat less potatoes that way, and I also
feel that it'd probably do me some good.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't know where that came from, but I always organize my fries, and I don't, I didn't like it when people, noticed it. I wasn't doing it for other people. Like, what are you doing with your fries? Like, never mind. It's my thing, man. I must have been hurt. I must have been hurt by a potato at some point in my life. That's probably possible.
Oh no!
My brothers threw a lot of shit.
Did you get molested while dressing up like the Veggie Fables?
I don't know. My brothers. Well, I hated meals with my like some people like look fondly on their family meals. I hated it. One of my brothers would make a lot of mouth noises, and it would just always be a lot of fucking bullshit around the dinner table. So the fact that I organized my French fries was probably just me going into a little fucking tunnel and escaping all the shit.
State and just trying to.
Must organize the potatoes like Rain Man. Must get them organized. Yeah, because not. And then you ever try to dip like the D and F French fries in something, you're gonna get fucking ketchup on your fingers, and then you gotta lick them. So it's like it's like it's like a homeless guy going through cigarettes.
I'm saying I know. I don't know.
You're like the troops when it comes to potatoes. No potato left behind.
No potato left behind. No, man. I get every single one of those.
Yeah. And I don't agree with wedge potatoes. It's like, just call them fat fries.
What about like English? What about like chips? Like, fish and chip style chips. Like the chunky ones.
I like those.
You can do those.
But they should be called chunky fries and not potato wedges. Or fucking freedom fries, man. They were upset at the French for a minute, and they're like, we're gonna call them freedom fries. Oh, you know what? You're an intolerant piece of shit.
I think you guys did the same thing a few hundred years ago with the Spanish and like renamed a load of fucking shit. Like you guys have got formed for that.
Americans are assholes and intolerant pieces of shit. And I know I speak as one of them. I mean, there's nothing I hate more than.
Are you? You're basically Canadian, aren't you? You're like all the way up fucking.
Oregon. I mean, I like Bryan Adams. All right. If that's what you're getting at. I mean, that was the first time I was into rock and roll. I got into Bryan Adams. My friends were listening to.
God.
Oh, my friends were listening to Kiss and stuff, and like one of my brothers was a religious fanatic. In fact, a couple of them were. I don't talk to him much, but he was like, I'd buy 45s. My dad would go to this record place, and I would get 45s, and then my brother was telling me like 38 Special. They look like devil worshippers and shit. So like and they might be, they were definitely sang about young women a lot. So I kind of like, I had really shitty taste in music, Bryan Adams. And
when I was a kid, I used to like, do you remember when he did that song for Robin Hood? So I learned all the words to that when I was a kid. I mean, I was a kid, I was like 8 or 9 or something. And my parents used to get me to stand up in front of friends and sing that a cappella at their parties.
Yeah, you got to get. I'm thinking of the outfit that I'd like to see that happen at Panamint.
You need to banish those thoughts from your mind.
Yeah, and I also was into I graduated from Sean Cassidy into Bryan Adams and there's another couple of, but I was definitely into easy pop, and I thought Kiss I thought like my brother thought, these guys are demons. I didn't realize they basically make the same music as Bryan Adams. They just have fucking stupid outfits.
I mean, Kiss are just pop, right?
They were fucking pop, but it was like, but like there was my family, or at least my brother John, was into the Christian movement and speaking in tongues and all that shit, and there was this fucking record spinning backwards, fucking it was all that time where it was like, all this shit is bad and evil and everything, and so I just kind of stayed in my pop zone until it was like I think I heard Def Leppard's High and Dry, and it's like, fuck Bryan Adams.
Fuck Bryan Adams. Fuck it. This is actual music.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll wrap this up for now, and then I'll say we'll talk, and then in the next, I don't know, couple of days or so, we'll do this again for another 10 minutes, and Bring all the food out, and we'll and I'll eat it in front of you, and you won't get to eat any of it.
And I'll tell you the one thing, and I won't give you the secret of it, but there was 1 or 2 of the egg sandwiches I had, and they had a sauce to it. It's just kind of a mayonnaise variant. Okay. Not like the Delta variant. That's gonna. It's a mayonnaise variant. I'm looking forward to the Delta variant sweeping through churches this fall.
Oh, man,
I hope. Yeah, I hope it. That's what I'm trying to get people aware, or not aware. I don't want them to be aware of, but I think the Delta variant is going to be the rapture, and it's just going to take Christians home.
Just going to take Christians. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I got the shot. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I've had the first one. I've not had the second one yet.
I smoked heroin. I haven't injected heroin, but why would I turn my nose up at anything?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's in a needle and it's free. Then of course. Why not?
I did heroin so I wouldn't get sick.
on that note. Oh man, cool. Well, I'll see you in a few days. I'll start putting this together, and then we'll wrap it up then.
All right, man. It's fun talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
As always. Yeah.
I'll see you soon,
man.
Bye.
All right.
All right, guys. We are here to make Andy Andrist his egg sandwich. Now, when he told me he wanted an egg sandwich, I was a little bit confused, because to me that's a sandwich with an egg in it. But after a bit of research and what he told me, and looking into it a bit more, in America an egg sandwich is basically any sandwich that has an egg in it, as part of like it having loads of other shit in it as well. So the closest thing that I could find online was like the California style egg sandwich, which I think is pretty close to what Andy was saying. So that's what we're gonna make. First thing, let's fire up the old cast iron, and we're gonna get some bacon going, and we're gonna get some eggs going. While that's heating up, let's get our avocado spread for the inside of the sandwich ready, because this bit's the fucking best. Check this out, right? This, motherfuckers, is an avocado, right? Compared to the size of a normal can, right? This is a fucking avocado. The avocados that they sell in Tesco and fucking Sainsbury's and all of those things that are about this big and fucking awful, they are not avocados. They are fucking golf balls painted green. This is a fucking avocado. I had to go to Marks and Spencer's to get it. Yes, I'm a fancy bitch, but this is what they're supposed to fucking look like. Right, so avocado, dead easy. Straight down the middle, round the outside, split them in half. Boom, boom. Knife into the pip, twist, pip out, and gone. Simple. Spoon, avocado, transfer into bowl. Probably only need about half of this, but like I could just eat avocado anyway, and I will. So I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay, we need half a red onion. Diced onion goes in here. Garlic. Okay, stick that in there too. And we're just going to give it a quick. I mean, it's not guacamole because it hasn't got cilantro in it and a few other things. So, and I'm not putting anywhere near as, but just a little bit of lime juice in there isn't going to hurt it. Going to freshen it up, brighten it up a little bit, and then obviously the usual. Little bit of black pepper and big old pinch of salt. Perfect. Now, this is my new favourite tool for making this kind of thing. It's nice and sharp down here. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But when you go like this, it chops stuff up really, really small and minces it for you and basically turns it into a paste. So, as you can see. Okay, and as you can see, we now have a nice spread for our sandwich. Then we're just going to prepare some nice thin, some nice thin tomato slices. This knife needs sharpening, like fuck, Jesus. Okay, well that could have been done better, but you know, we'll survive. Just some sliced up tomato. Don't need to be fancy. Right. Bread. Got some beautiful fresh sourdough here, which I'm not sure if it's the best for this, but I kind of wanted to make a decent sized sandwich, and I think we'll be able to do that with this. While we're pissing around, I don't know why I'm rushing so much. I'm rushing like there's actually a time constraint, and there is absolutely not whatsoever. I've actually got half an hour before I get Andy on, so I have plenty of time. So we're going to get a little bit of oil in our pan. This is actually chili oil, which I think is really nice for this sort of thing. And we're going to get our bacon going. I think like maybe for this 4 rashers of like streaky bacon. And while our bacon's cooking, we're just going to butter our bread. But we're actually buttering the outside of our bread, and you will see why in the fullness of time. And you want to be liberal with your butter as well. You want it to be like, you know, a full-on fucking decent spread of butter. Like the bread that you get when you go to a Greasy Spoon for a breakfast, you know, where it's like 50% butter, 50% bread. That's what you're looking for. The good thing about doing your bacon first as well is that you render all the fat out of your bacon, and then you can fry your eggs in that, which is amazing. Okay, bacon's starting to look good. I'm going to show you. Okay, so keep bacon warm, throw in a bit more oil. You can also do this in butter if you want to be like super decadent. And then we're going to do 2 eggs. Size of this sandwich, you can get away with 2. You could probably get away with 3 to be fair, but stay. Okay. 1. 2. When I'm doing my eggs as well, I always just give the yolks just a tiny little sprinkle of salt, because they really like that. There we go, bacon's starting to get really crunchy. Okay, and then we're going to give our eggs a quick flip to make them over easy. Luckily they've both come together into one. There we go. Right, so while this is finishing off, now what we need to do is, I'm just going to use this piece of butter paper to put my bread on, because we need to put it face down, but I don't want to get butter everywhere or lose the butter. So we're going to start off with a layer of our avocado mixture. Just take this off the heat for a sec. So there's a layer of our avocado mixture. Beautiful. And then we are going to do 2 nice pieces of Jarlsberg. You can use Emmental, you can use Provolone. You just want something that melts nicely, but that isn't too overpowering flavour-wise. Okay. And then we're going to do some slices of tomato. Might have to cut up another tomato. Yeah, probably going to have to cut up another tomato. In fact, no, we'll just do 1 layer of tomato. I think we'll just do 1 layer of tomato. Okay, and then we get our bacon. And we're going to do a nice layer of bacon. Okay, like so. And then we're going to get our egg. And lay that on top like so. And then we are going to go with another 2 pieces of cheese. Like so. And like so. And then we're going to take our last piece of bread. And we are going to avocado the fuck out of it. Like so. And then we're going to finish off our sandwich. Now we're not going to push down too hard because we don't want everything to go everywhere. We're going to get this guy back on the heat. We're going to get him nice and hot. And then we're going to take our sandwich, which as you can see here is looking amazing. Look at that beauty. And we are going to pop him straight into our pan. So that's about there. So then we're going to flip this over somehow. Oh, look at that. Okay. And we're going to take it off the heat because we don't want to burn it. And then we're going to let that go for a minute just to do the other side. Okay, right, so this is probably about done on the other side. So what we're going to do now is the very, very, very important last step, which is you've got to wrap it. So you want a nice sheet of parchment paper. You're going to get your sandwich nice and central, and then you come above the top like so. Make the 2 ends meet like so, so you can pick it up like a baby, and then you fold the tops over, fold them over again, and fold them over again until they're nice and tight like so. Hold both ends, and then you tuck under the sandwich on one side. Hang on, if I'm doing this right. So you tuck everything underneath like that, and then on the other side, same deal. Tuck everything underneath until you've got a nice neat little package that's all sealed up, and that's just going to steam in there, which is going to melt all the cheese and make it all nice and perfect. I should hold that up so you can see it. Okay, we should have Andy imminently, in theory.
Yeah, I got all my shit set up this morning, you know, even though it's a pretty simple dish. I had the toaster out and the cheese. I had everything set out, you know, for a fucking reason, you know. And then my wife gets up and assumes somehow I had a late night snack and just left shit around. and puts the toaster away, cleans the pan that I had the butter already melted in.
Oh my God.
And I go, hey, what's that? You know, I go, I was going to use that. And she goes, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. How could you have misunderstood? We didn't have a conversation about it. Like, you just went about fucking doing weird and annoying shit. And then, yeah, so I had to get it all set back out. It's a real
well, I did
setback.
my usual thing of being like ready sort of 10, 15 minutes early, and then like just pacing around like a fucking caged manatee, waiting for the other person to be on time, but like getting pissed off at them for being on time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm right there.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how punctual I am.
No, I'm incredible. I'm overly. I'm like forcefully punctual.
For comedy gigs, I would people, you know, I'd show up and then just loiter around in the neighborhood, but not at the venue, and then show up, you know, and be like, "Where you been?" And it's like, I was, you know, I walked in this room an hour ago, took a peek in, and now, you know, I go to a bar nearby or whatever and sit there because I don't want to be.
You don't want to be the weirdo sat.
Yeah. Boy, I'm over anxious to do this comedy thing. Trying out some new bits and everything.
I'm still really excited about my job.
Yeah, right.
So I'll run you through what I've done, and then I'll show you what I've got. Okay. So I've made a almost like a guacamole style like sauce for the bread, like a spread for the bread, with guacamole, red onion, some garlic, some lime juice, bit of salt and pepper, and just like made that into like a spread, which you can see again. I couldn't get provolone, but I got some Jarlsberg instead, which is, you know, basically the same thing. And then some tomatoes, some bacon, and then obviously the eggs in the middle.
All right.
And I've learned as well how to wrap diner style. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Got your name on there and everything.
Like, oh, nice.
Like in Starbucks. So yeah.
Actually, I spell it with an I. Goddamn it! Oh, you've ruined our day.
So yeah, I'm gonna cut this open and then we can go at it. You ready?
Okay. Yeah. I had a potato situation that fucked me up. Look at this shit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I skipped on the potatoes because
I should have.
Yeah, because having two pans going at the same time in here is a real pain in the fucking arse. So I just did the one, but I'm going to come around and show you straight to the camera so you can see better. Hang on. How's that look?
Oh yeah! Wow, that's a hearty sandwich.
Yeah. And we did. I did some sourdough, like some nice sourdough bread.
You definitely put your own twist on it for sure.
Yeah. There you go. So,
beautiful.
You ready for your
first
bite?
Wait! I got to show mine here.
Oh yeah.
I did mine, and and the potatoes were fucked up because I cooked them early because it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to run the stove, and then I microwaved them, and I got this shit. That's a treason tot right there. That's an insurrection potato. But yeah, so
the Canada fries.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Delicious.
It is. Like, I said earlier on the video that when you said egg sandwich earlier, I was like, so like what? Bread with an egg in it? I don't. Yeah. And then I did a bit of research, and what I based this on is like the California style egg sandwich, I think they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's the perfect book. It's like crunchy, fucking like got a bit of sweet in there, got a bit of fucking everything. It's amazing.
And now this will count against my egg total for the week because I had to make it in front of somebody.
Now that's amazing,
goddamn sandwich. Yeah.
So this is now going out on Friday because somebody fucked up my schedule. But on the plus side, that does mean it goes out on the same day as your new comedy thing.
Yeah, it's all about. It's Andy Day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Andy Day tomorrow. So if you're watching this, Andy's thing should already be by this time tomorrow. Will it be out?
Yeah, it'll be out early in the morning. And then we're doing the live stream at 3 Pacific time with hopefully Paul Provenza, Stan Hope, and then we're opening up to anybody and everybody.
Yeah, well, I'll be in there as well, probably hiding in the back somewhere, but I'll be around. And
cool.
And yeah, no, this was really cool, man. Thank you very much for coming to hang out.
Oh, it's been fun, man. I just wish I could be in the kitchen there with you.
Yeah,
but it is Pride Month. It is Pride Month, but we'll have to celebrate separately.
Oh man, we'll do some fucking Andy on Andy crime at some point.
Yeah. Some Andy gaping. It's not gay if it's the same name.
It's not gay if it's the same name. We've always said that. All right, man. Thanks a lot for coming on. This has been another Fat Guy Cooks. That's Andy Andrist. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go buy Andy's fucking album. I think actually this is his Nature Jack poster up on the wall here. I don't know if you can quite see that.
Yeah.
But go out into nature. Go beat off onto a squirrel or something.
Don't be a breeder. Don't be a breeder. Be a ground feeder.
Don't be a breeder. Be a ground feeder. And on that note, I am out.